I literally feel like I'm her in a nutshell.
I've never had a book that like deals with grief in this way.
I'm like not even sure how to go about talking about this book, if I'm being completely honest. As much as I say I'm not a big fantasy girl, I end up always giving fantasy books a high rating.
I don't know, I'm enjoying this more than I thought I would.
And like, stop, I cannot do that. It's just a fun time to read. Part of me is like, maybe it's just laziness, and if so, I feel her. Oh my gosh, it's just so sweet. Don't want it to get super deep, but then again, like, how do I talk about something that changed my life and not have it be super deep? This video is not going to end until I find a 5-star read. I feel like lately I've just been reading 5-star read after 5-star read, so maybe this isn't the best time because I feel like I'm just on a streak and this streak might just continue. But I did want to challenge myself because normally it's a little bit harder for me to find a 5-star read. I feel like I'm very, very picky with my reads. Like, I know what I like, I know what I don't like, and a lot of the times what I think I like doesn't pan out. So that is what today's video is going to be for. It's not going to end until I find a 5-star read, okay? The first book that I want to start with is called The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I love Ashley Poston literally till my last dying breath. Something about Ashley Poston's books is that I just really like her writing, so I'm hoping that this book is going to be just the same. I feel like this book has very mixed reviews, like people either love it or they hate it. I am super scared because I don't know, I feel like that was the same way with any of the Ashley Poston books that I've read. People either love it or they hate it, and I've had one that I loved, one that I hate, and I don't know. Hey, I don't know, okay? I've been reading a little bit of the book already. I think I'm like 30% through on my Kindle. We had a long drive yesterday, so I was reading it then. Right now, I really don't have that much to say about it, honestly. The whole point of this book is that this girl's dad dies and she goes back to her hometown, but she can see ghosts. And she left her hometown because she could see ghosts. And basically her family works in like, I believe it's called a crematorium. Like they work with dead bodies. The person that she works with, and I believe he's gonna be the love interest, or is the love interest. He basically ends up dead and he ends up as a ghost. I don't know, it's like very, very weird. It's definitely different than a lot of the books that I've read, but it's called The Dead Romantics. I don't know why I expected anything different. I'm still at the beginning of the book, okay? The things that are happening are things that I already knew would happen by reading the synopsis, so I'm hoping to get more, and I will see you guys over on my couch when I continue reading this book, because pretty much I don't have any plans for the day, okay? I just want to read my book. Guys, this book deals with so much grief. I feel like a lot of the books that I've read before that deal with like grief in any sort of standpoint, it's like to the point of like this happened a while ago and they're just now the grief hits them. This is like her dad died less than a week ago. I've never had a book that like deals with grief in this way of like we're literally watching the aftermath of it, but like right after it happens. I feel like that's all I can say about that. Like there's really not much else to say except for it's just really weird to be reading about, and it's gonna make me cry at some point. I just know it. So okay, it's a little bit later, and honestly, like, I have a few things to talk about this book. It's a very good book when it's talking about the grief, and it's a very good book when it's talking about just all these emotions that come along with her being in her hometown and her dad dying and just like the issues also with her family. And I feel like it's a good book when it talks about those things, but only when we're talking about those things. And when our main character is going off and kind of just like doing her own thing because she's trying to get everything together for her dad's funeral. I don't know, like her going to the flower shop, like, sorry, it's a snooze fest. Like, it's boring. I don't know how to say it, but it's like, I feel like I'm skimming the page because it lasts for too long and there's nothing interesting happening. So that's the only issue I'm having with this book right now is, I don't know, like it's just not picking up. But I currently am like 40% through the book. I have like an hour and a half left, so I'm gonna continue reading, but that is my thoughts. update time on the Dead Romantics. I don't have that much to say, but knowing myself, I'll probably sit here yapping. So I'm trying to make this quick, but I do have a few things that I want to say. First and foremost, I feel like our main character was a romantic, like in her last relationship, not even like the beginning of the book. So we never really saw her as like a heavy romantic. She keeps alluding to that time in her life when she was with her last boyfriend and everything was okay, and then something happened, and now, I mean, like, she couldn't be less on the other side. She just does not love right now, and it's a little bit of an issue because she does ghostwrite romance books, okay? Like, she's writing for a very popular author. Basically, Ben says one relationship doesn't, and she cuts him off. She says one. I shook my head with a soft laugh. If it was one Ben, I'd be lucky. Dad said I had a string of bad luck, but I don't really think that anymore. Guys just ... don't want someone like me, or maybe they do, but they just don't want me. I could not relate to her more. Like, truly, being a hopeless romantic in the past and then like being who I am now, I literally feel like I'm her in a nutshell. But also I feel like that's the only thing that I'm relating to our main character on. Normally, okay, let me start over this sentence, okay? Normally I feel like with books, and especially romance books in general, like, you need to have these characters that people can attach themselves to, because that's honestly the only reason that we would be reading a romance book. Like, I'm sorry, like, I should be able to by now have like a personality like list for our main character, and I just feel like I don't have that yet. A lot of the stuff that she's going through, I feel like just doesn't really make that much sense to me. Like, a lot of her mental warfare is, one, she just doesn't believe in love anymore, and yet she has to be writing a manuscript for a romance book. But also, like, the second thing, I feel like with her dad dying, like, she's not talking to her mom enough, which is insane. I feel like she's kind of just like ignoring her mom, and we're not, like, I wish we would focus on the mom's grief a little bit more. I know that's not, like, her mom is not the point of the book, but like, hello? You know what I mean? Like, and then on top of that too, she has a very great bond with her brother, but not with her sister. Her sister and her are just like bickering back and forth. And I know like grief makes people do funny things and like act differently, but I feel like that's like really insane. Like, your guys' dad just died. Why are you still like focused on this like petty drama of you moving away in the first place? Like, we're focusing a lot about the fact that she moved out of this small town and now she's back. And I get it. I live in a small town too. Like, it must be hard to come back to a small town after you like promised that you never come back and you moved away. At the same time, your dad just died. Like, let's be a little bit more serious about that. So I don't think this book is gonna be a 5 stars. I'm sorry to disappoint anyone. Like, you guys probably want this video to be done right now because, yeah, I'm pretty annoying. You guys are gonna have to hear me yap probably about another book because I don't think this is a 5-star read. The one thing I want to say is Ashley Paulson's writing just will always do it for me. So in that regard, I feel like it would be a 5 stars just off of her writing, but I don't know, I feel like I'm not attached to the characters as much, and I don't really understand how Ben is a ghost now, and now the romance stories between our main character and Ben, which, fair, love Ben too, but he's a ghost? Yeah, so basically she likes a ghost. That is the most insane sentence to come out of my mouth, so we're gonna move past that one, okay? I'm currently like 54% through the book. I'm just gonna read some more of it tonight. I'm honestly gonna try to finish the book tonight, which sounds crazy, but I think I can do it. I have some willpower, and I also, like, I have insomnia, so I'll probably be staying up anyway. Might as well stay up reading this book. I'm gonna try to finish this book tonight, and I will keep you guys updated, but that's pretty much it right now. Those are all of my thoughts and feelings. Not much, but I feel like I said just enough. I'm gonna continue sitting out here and reading my book. Good morning. We need to talk, okay? Because last night I finished none other than The Dead Romantics by Ashley Paulson. Honestly, had a very great time reading this book. I feel like that goes without saying because it's an Ashley Paulson book. Like, of course I'm gonna love it. I do have to mention this is not a 5-star read. Main reason being, the two biggest things about this book is that it's a romance book. It also struggles with grief, okay? Those are like the two things that coexist during this book, but I feel like neither of them we dived deep enough into. Even the romance. I really wasn't sold on the romance until like the last 30% of the book, and then I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm gonna crash out if they don't end up together somehow. Truly, but it only hit me at like the last 30%. So that was a little bit upsetting, but I don't know, I just feel like this book was really, really good. Let me grab my phone. I have some quotes to share. actually need my computer. My phone is 2%. I feel like I couldn't be any more of a mess if I tried. Let's see. It says, I don't understand why I'm so messed up right now. I admit it. I've said goodbye to so many people. Shouldn't it be easy now? This one says, I always went about everything on my own. I thought I could solve everything myself, though I guess I never really had to. I had family and I had friends and I had parents who loved me and would always love me until the end of time. And that struck a chord with me. I feel like the only thing that I really related to our main character with was just the fact that she literally does everything alone and never wants to ask for help. Hey, literally me. And then later on it says, not all of my companions would be ghosts, but it was okay if some of them were. Now our main character can see ghosts. Like, that's where that quote is coming from, but I took it as like, it's okay if some of your companions are people who have passed and you're like just seeing them in the way the wind moves or like the bird comes up. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay if some of your companions aren't like an actual face-to-face alive sort of situation. Like, it's okay if you still consider those people who have passed on as your companions because they'll always be there. I don't want to get too deep, so I'm gonna cut it off there, okay? Oh, this one was so cute. It says, because people always left. If they had a choice, they left, and Ben wanted to stay. Aww. Guys, it was such a cute romance book. Like, oh. The last quote I want to read says, I keep it with me so I don't feel so alone. She told me that you don't ever lose the sadness, but you learn to love it because it becomes a part of you, and bit by bit it fades. And eventually you'll pick yourself back up and you'll find that you're okay, that you're going to be okay, and eventually it'll be true. So I'm going to go ahead and give The Dead Romantics a 4 stars. I don't think it was a 5-star read. There were some parts of the book that I just felt like dragged, and some parts of the book that I didn't, I guess, relate to or like in general. I can't give it a 5 stars because it just didn't give me the 5-star feeling. The Dead Romantics just didn't go deep enough for me, but I did really appreciate this book, and we're gonna move on to our next read of this video. Okay everyone, so the next book I want to pick for this video is Fantasma by Kaylee Smith. I just recently bought this book and I don't know, I feel like I haven't really wanted to pick it up that much, but everyone that I've heard talk about this book has talked about it just so highly. I'm normally not a very romance heavy girl. You guys know I'm a rom-com girl literally till the day that I die. But I did really want to try out this book, and I feel like it's weird because as much as I say I'm not a big fantasy girl, I end up always giving fantasy books a high rating. So we're gonna try out Fantasma. I don't even know what this is about. It says, Ophelia discovers her mother brutally murdered. There is no time to grieve. She has inherited the family's fearsome magic and enormous debt. Okay, the only way for Ophelia to save her sister is to win. I guess Fantasma is kind of like a game, like the Hunger Games, and Ophelia has to win these games. Let's go ahead and let's start Fantasma. I'm actually really excited for this. I'm not expecting it to be a 5 stars because I don't want to like put that out into the world and then the universe is like, nope, that's not happening for you, but I feel like this could be a very, very good book and hopefully a good 5-star contender. So let's go ahead, let's start Fantasma.
Look at my baby.
Oh my god. Their mother's already dead and there's already a ritual happening. I'm on page 5. Okay, so this is like a lot deeper than I thought it was. Like, it's not just her sister disappears and then she like spawns in Fantasma. Basically, her sister is looking for this guy named Gabriel. There's some sort of mystery there of why he disappeared. So her sister is going to Fantasma and now she has to sign up for Fantasma to look for her sister. She doesn't even know what's going on. Like, she doesn't understand this Gabriel. She doesn't understand the mystery. have some updates for you guys. I like literally just trekked through the rain, so let me unpack my bag really quickly. And I want to change my shirt. It's so cold in this cabin. Please hold 1 second. Okay, we are officially all good now. I have some updates on Fantasma. First thing I want to say, excuse the loud noises in the back. Hey, you're gonna be hearing some rain. I literally have been trying to wait all day to film an update for you guys, but this rain is not stopping, and it literally is not gonna stop until like 7 p.m. and it is 3:46. I will say one of the main things that I want to say about this book is it's a lot darker than I was expecting. I mean, going into it, like, I was expecting it to be pretty much, it's a dark fantasy romance book. This morning I was doing my nails outside and I was like really enjoying it, so I listened to the audiobook. Guys, I think I listened to the audiobook for maybe like 30 minutes and I was like, okay, we can't do this, because I was literally getting so anxious and nervous for no reason. I just feel like it's something about a dark fantasy book and I have to like listen to it in my ears, and I feel like that is honestly a good thing, because that's basically saying that this author, Kaylee Smith, the way that she writes the settings of things and just talks about like the clothes that the people are wearing, or like the way that the curtains are falling, or things like that, it just feels very lyrical type of writing, and I'm really enjoying it. Also, guys, I love our girl main character. I feel like it's a thing with me where I like the male main characters more in romance books and I like the girl main characters more in fantasy books. I just feel like she has such a good head on her shoulders. Everything she's saying I'm agreeing with. Everything that she's feeling, I'm like, that is so valid. I don't know, I really love her, and I was not expecting to actually like her, but here we are and I am not complaining at all. And then, okay. I'm very confused because our love interest, like the guy love interest, I'm this close to being like he's a demon, right? Because basically we know that he's trapped in Fantasma, okay? Like, they had to make a blood oath together. Like, it's not a very light, fun, fluffy read, but every time someone is mentioning, like, anytime the other devils are talking amongst themselves and then like he gets brought up in conversation, something happens and cuts them off right before they like say that he's like a demon. Like, stop. I cannot do that. I refuse. I feel like I'm just blocking that part from my brain, because like I said, I've never read a dark fantasy book before like this. Like, it's not... And I feel like also I have to talk about her relationship with her sister, because Ophelia's relationship with Genevieve, it's just like, it's such a mess. Ophelia and Genevieve don't really like get along like that, but after their mother died, it like kind of just took a little bit of a toll on them, and Genevieve ended up literally running away. Like, Genevieve left Ophelia a letter basically explaining like, I need to go, I need to leave, and Ophelia's not gonna just take that and be like, okay, it's fine, you're all good. Ophelia goes snooping and she finds like these different letters and things that her sister had written out, and one of them said like, find Gabriel, I believe his name is, and who the heck is Gabriel? Hey, Gabriel, who are you? And why is Genevieve looking for you? Ophelia basically has this inkling that Genevieve signed up for Fantasma to go find Gabriel. Now she thinks that Genevieve, like, is taking part in Fantasma games, and so Ophelia signs up for Fantasma. And that's basically where we're at right now. A lot of other things happen that I don't want to spoil. Basically, the male main character love interest of this book is helping her through these games, because he's literally stuck in Fantasma. I'm gonna stop talking now, but I'm really enjoying this book. I'm gonna continue reading it. Literally gonna try to finish this today, but I don't know if that's possible. I have about half left, so let's continue reading Fantasma. Good morning, everybody. I have some updates for you guys on Fantasma, which I finished last night. I don't know why I've been just like reading books at the literal speed of light, but that's been like the vibes recently. I feel like since I literally have nothing else better to do, I've just been like reading like no other. So I finished Fantasma last night. I'm just gonna say it straight up, it's not a 5-star. I'm actually gonna give Fantasma a 3.5 stars. I'm sorry. Like, that is crazy, because all the clips that I've talked about me reading Fantasma, I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like I was giving off the vibe that I was really enjoying the book, and I was really enjoying it. The games were really fun to follow. I was really enjoying like like the games of Fantasma, and I was really enjoying the mystery of finding her sister. Am I about to change my rating? I'm like talking myself out of a 3.5. I don't know, I just feel like this wasn't normally my vibe of book, and I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, and I'm gonna start reading some more of this type of book. I know it's like crazy to be relating this to like Normal People by Sally Rooney or something like that, but if I think about the grand scheme of like books that I actually really like and what they have to offer, I feel like this just doesn't like correlate at all. I don't know if maybe I'm just losing my mind because I was just having like just a fun time reading this. I feel like that's how I would describe this book. It's just a fun time to read. I really like the writing, and I'm definitely going to continue this series, so don't you guys worry, but this is definitely not a 5-star read, unfortunately. But do you guys know what book could be a 5-star read? I went to Books A Million the other day. I got 2 books off book sale, by the way. I love Books A Million more than Barnes & Noble because they have like this whole book sale section of like actually good books. I'm always surprised when I go in there and the books are like $5 and I'm like, whoa, like this is crazy, because I would buy that book for like full price right now. The 2 books that I got are The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry. You guys know I love this book. I feel like I don't talk about it enough, but this is actually genuinely one of my favorite books of all time, but I read it on Kindle. Now I have the actual copy and I'm so excited. I'm gonna do a reread of this book soon, but I feel like it's not fair to do a reread of this book in this video because I already know that it's gonna be a 5-star. Like that would be a surefire way to just like end the video here. And we don't really need to do that, you know? And then the last book that I got here is Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney, which, are we surprised, this is actually going to be my next read of the video. I feel like I talk about Normal People by Sally Rooney just way too much. And I don't read a lot of Sally Rooney books, but every book that I've read by Sally Rooney just like really hits a chord with me. And I feel like this book is gonna be no different. It says Alice, Felix, Eileen, and Simon are still young, but life is catching up with them. They desire each other, they delude each other, they get together, they break apart. Are they standing in the last lighted room before the darkness, bearing witness to something? Will they find a way to believe in a beautiful world? I guess this book is just gonna be like a character study. You guys know, I love my character studies, okay? I'm down bad for a character study book. You guys know the drill. Gotta take the dust jacket off. So let's start reading Beautiful World, Where Are You? I also just realized I've been sitting here for like over an hour. It is 10:45. I've been literally sitting in this spot for about an hour and a half now. I think we're overdue for a Bryn rant, okay? Because I'm on, I think like chapter 10-ish of this book, 100 pages through. I just love Sally Rooney's writing so much. The way that like these characters are talking in this book. I will say a lot of the hatred towards Normal People was the fact that she didn't use quotation marks. She also didn't use quotation marks again. I don't understand why she does that, except for maybe the fact of it's just annoying to keep putting quotation marks in there when you're like in your groove of writing. Part of me is like, maybe it's just laziness, and if so, I feel her. Okay, the other part of me is like, oh, it's like a little bit annoying. Also, I will say when I get into the groove of reading books, sometimes I'll just end up like skimming the page almost, where I'm only reading the dialogue, which I do think maybe has a little bit of a play on how much I like Sally Rooney's writing, because I can't just like skip around in the dialogue because there's not quotations. I want to read like 3 pages to you, but I can't read all 3 pages. So give me a second. Let me find a few quotes from the 3 pages to make it like make sense for you guys. It says, at times I think of human relationships as something soft like sand or water, and by pouring them into particular vessels, we give them shape. So a mother's relationship with her daughter is poured into a vessel marked mother and child, and the relationship takes the contours of its container and is held inside there for better or worse. Maybe some unhappy friends would have been perfectly contented as sisters, or married couples as parents and children, who knows? But what would it be like to form a relationship with no preordained shape of any kind? Just to pour the water out and let it fall. I suppose it would take no shape and run off in all directions. That's a little like myself and Felix, I think. There's no obvious path forward by which any relation between us can proceed. I don't believe he would describe me as a friend because he has friends, and the way he relates to them is different from the way he relates to me. He's much more removed from me than I think he is from them, and at the same time we're in certain senses closer because there are no boundaries or conventions by which our relationship is constrained. What makes it different, in other words, is neither him nor me, nor any special personal qualities pertaining to either of us, not even the particular combination of our individual personalities, but the method by which we relate to one another, or the absence of the method. Maybe eventually we will all just drop out of each other's lives or become friends after all, or something else, but whatever happens will at least be the result of this experiment, which feels at times like it's going badly wrong, and at other times feels like the only kind of relationship worth having. That's what I'm talking about when I say I love Sally Rooney's writing. Sally Rooney, you've done it again. This quote is like towards the end of the email, and I have to share it, okay? It says, I suppose the point I'm making is that there's no end of fun to be had once you get into the Christian mindset. For you and me, it's harder because we can't seem to shake the conviction that nothing matters, life is random, our sincerest feelings are reducible to chemical reactions, and no objective moral law structures the universe. It's possible to live with those convictions, of course, but not really possible, I don't think, to believe the things that you and I say we believe. That some experiences of beauty are serious and others trivial, or that some things are right and others wrong. To what standard are we appealing? Before what judge do we argue our case? I'm not trying to tear you down, by the way. I occupy what I suspect is exactly your position. I can't believe that the difference between right and wrong is simply a matter of taste or preference. I also can't bring myself to believe in absolute morality, which is to say, in God. It leaves me in a philosophical nowhere place, lacking the courage of my convictions on both sides. I can't have the satisfaction of feeling that I serve God by doing right, and yet the idea of doing wrong disgusts me. Even more to the point, I find my own work morally and politically worthless, and yet it's what I do with my life, the only thing I want to do. This is also something that I feel like just needs to be said. It says, I need to feel that my life has some kind of center, somewhere for my thoughts to return and rest. I know, by the way, that most people don't need any such thing, and I would be much healthier if I didn't. Felix doesn't feel the need to arrange his life around a central principle, and I don't think you do either. Simon does, but he has God. When it comes to putting something at the center of life, God strikes me as a good option. Better, at least, than making up stories about people who don't exist or falling in love with people who hate me. It's still better to love something than nothing, better to love someone than no one, and I'm here living in the world not wishing for a moment that it wasn't. I will just never not be shocked by the way that Sally Rooney writes. The way that Sally Rooney just put into words my struggles with religion. Like, I am a Christian and I do believe in God, but these are the things that I talk to my mom about on the regular, and like these are things that I spiral about, and it's put into words, and it's put into perfect words. I need to continue reading, but I needed that to be said. It's just so sweet. I'm literally gonna cry, guys. I'm gonna cry. Because I actually felt happy for once in my life. I even thought that to myself at the time. For once in my life, I feel happy. Sometimes I think I'm being punished, like God is punishing me. Or I'm doing it to myself, I don't know. Because anytime I feel good for even 5 minutes, something bad has to happen. Anytime something good really happens, my life has to fall apart. Maybe it's me, maybe I'm the one doing it, I don't know. Aiden couldn't put up with me either, and now Alice can't either, and neither can you. In a low voice, Simon murmured peacefully, yes, I can. I don't know, maybe I'm not that great of a person, she said. Maybe I don't really think about other people the way I think about myself, like with you. For all I know, you're more miserable than I am, but you just never say it, and you're always nice to me, always. Even right now, I'm crying on your lap. When have you ever cried on my lap? Never. You never have. No, he agreed, but we're different people, and I'm not miserable, don't worry. Sometimes I'm sad, but that's okay. It's the internal struggle of like when something is going so good, it can't be this good for long, because every time something goes good, something bad is about to happen. Like, that is such an internal struggle for me. And then like to see it written down into words that I can never express is absolutely insane. And then on top of that, talking about God punishing you, I'm just like, do you guys know what time it is? I finished Beautiful World, Where Are You? And I will be the first one to say it. I think we all saw it coming from a mile away, but this is going to be the 5-star read of today's video. This video is done now, but I'll talk about my review on Beautiful World, Where Are You before we end off this video, because I don't want it to get super deep, but then again, like, how do I talk about something that changed my life and not have it be super deep? I think the way this book just talked about the human experience in all of its horrible things, all of its great things, I think it just summed it up so perfectly, and I loved being able to deep dive each of these 4 different people's lives. I cannot come to terms with the fact that these people don't exist in the real world. Like, I don't know how Sally Rooney comes up with characters and makes them so multifaceted and have so many different things, and I have to sit here and be like, oh, she just thought about this in her brain. Like, that just will never make sense to me. And also, just let me say, every single time Alice and Eileen emailed each other, a piece of my soul was reconstructed. I truly feel that way. I have shared so many quotes already through the like trajectory of this video, so I'm just gonna end it here. Beautiful World, Where Are You is going up there on my favorite shelf. Love you guys so much. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all my socials, links down in the description box down below. Trying to post more frequently, I promise. We will finally get into the groove of things. I know I keep promising it, but I'm gonna try to post more frequently because I don't know. I get to my head sometimes, but I'll see you guys super soon with another video. Goodbye.